Top 5 movies about awakening. Perspective of Advaita Vedanta. All 5 movies depict key Advaita Vedanta concepts. Maya, the illusion of the perceived world. Ego, the false self that must be transcended. Guru, figures who help the seeker navigate toward truth. Self-realization, the ultimate recognition of the non-dual nature of existence. Number 1. The Matrix, 1999. The Matrix is a metaphor for Maya, illusion. The concept that the world as perceived by the senses is not the ultimate reality. Neo represents the seeker of truth, who questions the nature of his existence. His awakening from the Matrix parallels self-realization in Advaita Vedanta, where one recognizes that the world of duality is an illusion, and the ultimate truth is non-dual consciousness, Brahman. Morpheus acts as the guru who guides Neo toward this realization, while the red pill symbolizes the courage to pursue liberation beyond the ego's constructs. Neo's journey begins with dissatisfaction with his life, mirroring the jiva, individual self, yearning for liberation. The Matrix itself represents Maya, the illusory world that keeps individuals trapped in ignorance. The red pill symbolizes viveka, discernment, the courage to seek the truth of reality. As Neo awakens to the nature of the Matrix, he recognizes the false dualities that have bound him. His ultimate realization that there is no spoon reflects the Advaita principle that distinctions between subject and object are illusions. The film's climactic moment, where Neo fully embraces his role as the One, represents the realization of oneness with Brahman, transcending all limitations of the ego and illusion. Number 2. Revolver, 2005. Revolver delves into the concept of the ego as the false self. Jake Green's struggle with his inner demons reflects the Advaita teaching that the ego, ahamkara, is a construct that must be transcended for self-realization. The film's climax, where Green confronts his own ego and dismantles its grip, aligns with the Advaita principle of recognizing the ego as an illusion. The repetitive themes of "the enemy is within" underscore the realization that liberation comes from understanding the non-dual nature of the self beyond egoic identity. This psychological thriller delves deeply into the workings of the ego, portraying it as the greatest adversary. Jake Green's inner journey highlights the self-inquiry process central to Advaita Vedanta, where the seeker must confront and dismantle the ego's illusions. The chess game and the cryptic lessons from his mentors symbolize the battle between the lower self, ego, and the higher self, Atman. The film's repeated emphasis on the enemy being within echoes the Vedantic teaching that the world is not the source of suffering. Attachment to the ego is. Green's ultimate liberation comes when he transcends fear, rejects the ego's narrative, and realizes his innate freedom and unity with the whole. Number 3. Groundhog Day, 1993. Phil Connor's repeated experience of the same day is akin to the samsaric cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Initially driven by ego and desire, Phil's repeated failures push him toward introspection and detachment. His transformation comes when he relinquishes selfish motives and embraces selflessness and presence, aligning with the Advaita teaching that liberation, moksha, comes from transcending desires and realizing the timeless now. Phil's eventual freedom mirrors the realization of non-duality, where actions are no longer motivated by ego, but flow from awareness. Phil Connor's repetitive loop symbolizes samsara, the cycle of life and death driven by karma. Initially, Phil reacts with selfishness and despair, trying to manipulate the situation to serve his desires. However, as he exhausts his ego-driven responses, he begins to cultivate vairagya, detachment, and seva, selfless service. His transformation through humility, kindness, and acceptance aligns with Advaita's emphasis on surrendering egoic desires and realizing the truth of the present moment. Phil's eventual liberation comes when he stops striving for control and embraces the timeless unity of life, achieving an enlightened state of being where time no longer binds him. Number 4. The Truman Show, 1998. Truman's world is a carefully constructed illusion, reflecting the concept of Maya that veils the true nature of reality. As Truman begins to question his reality, his journey mirrors the spiritual seeker's path, marked by moments of doubt, inquiry, and revelations. His gradual awakening to the falsehood of his reality reflects the seeker's journey in Advaita Vedanta. The staged events and false relationships represent the attachments and distractions that keep the jiva trapped in ignorance. Truman's courage to leave the familiar world behind reflects vairagya and the seeker's willingness to step into the unknown for the sake of truth. The moment he reaches the edge of the dome and steps through the door represents moksha, liberation, transcending duality and entering the boundless reality of the self. The creator, Christoph, can be seen as a representation of Ishwara, God in the context of Maya, crafting the illusion. But Truman's liberation shows that true freedom lies beyond the illusion of separateness.
For 6 months,
Number 5.
I couldn't sleep.
Fight Club, 1999.
This is how I met Tyler Durden.
The unnamed protagonist represents the jiva, individual self, entangled in the illusion of societal norms and consumerism. His alter ego, Tyler Durden, can be seen as a disruptive force urging him to reject identification with transient forms and rediscover his true essence. The destruction of false identities, symbolized by his rejection of materialism and societal expectations, echoes Advaita's teaching that one must transcend attachments to the external world, Maya, to realize the self, Atman. The story points to the impermanence of the egoic self and the liberation found in surrendering it. Tyler Durden's arrival serves as a disruptive force, shattering the protagonist's illusions and pushing him toward self-inquiry. Tyler's anarchic philosophy represents the radical rejection of ego and societal conditioning, though it comes with its own challenges. As the protagonist uncovers that Tyler is a manifestation of his own mind, he experiences a profound awakening. The ego is not real, and its perceived power is an illusion. The destruction of the material world around him symbolizes the Advaita, teaching that liberation comes through detachment and recognizing one's true nature beyond the ego.